Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the April Discmemberment. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And this is actually, it's funny, this one is a short one in terms of quantity, but I think quality-wise is pretty packed.
Yeah, there's some good discs coming out this month, although it's you guys have been used to us ever since even before the holidays. We were having really heavy horror months, and this is the first month we've kind of gotten a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, a lot of the like some of the ones I look through here as I've already like pre-ordered and stuff, and ones that were already on my radar to buy. So it's like, I think that even the pick of the weeks are pretty easy. Except there's a couple of surprises like I didn't know about, but most of them are like, I have to say, like, but like all of them are like pretty solid. There's not a lot of like dud ones in here, if many at all. I think there maybe like one, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
These are all pretty good titles. So
we should preface it, film historian wise, nothing. There's literally no new ones in this, and so that's a little disappointing. But
well, not for our listeners because they're probably thankful. Oh, thank God they're not making 20 hit film historian.
That's
jokes.
true.
Cody
gets a month off. This is her spring. This is her spring break.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. This is our Blu-ray releases for the week of April 6th. Coming right up from Lionsgate Films, Shadow in the Cloud from 2020. A female World War II pilot traveling with top secret documents on a B-17 Flying Fortress encounters an evil presence on board the flight. And this is a Chloe Grace Moretz vehicle.
Yes, a monster movie vehicle, no less. And I have to say, I'd never heard of this. But when I saw it, I watched the trailer, because Tim always does such a good job. He provides the trailer link, so when we go through, we can be a little prepared here. And I'm looking at this trailer, and I'm like, why is this listed? Why is this a horror title? Then you find out about midway through this trailer. But I'll tell you, this trailer is pretty epic. This movie looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I had seen the trailer before we did our rundown for the Discmemberment, but I'm like you. I didn't know that it was like classified as a horror movie, so I didn't think much about it. It looked cool, but you didn't think about it in terms of the podcast. But now I'm kind of wanting to see this one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this. I mean, I don't know if it's something I'll go out and order the disc per se, but I definitely will check it out when it comes on to one of the streaming services. The next one we have here is I think didn't Shudder send this to us? I don't think I got to watch the screener of it, but
I feel like it sounded familiar. The title sounded familiar.
Yeah, and I thought some of the clips too. It's from RLJ Entertainment, which we found out is pretty much the Shudder distribution service for discs. And that's The Reckoning from 2020. And it's after losing her husband during the Great Plague, Grace Haverstock is unjustly accused of being a witch and placed in the custody of England's most ruthless witch hunter. Sorry, I said ruthless witch hunter. I said it twice, I think. But anyways, ruthless, witch hunter. It says, forced to endure physical and emotional torture while steadfastly maintaining her innocence, Grace faces her own inner demons as the devil himself. I'm on full cylinders today here. As the devil himself starts to work his way into her mind. This good, cool, creepy little trailer. I mean, the disc itself just got some deleted scenes on it, but the trailer looks cool. I want to say I think we did get this screener. Is one of the ones I did not get to watch though, and I think it's already on Shudder now, so probably check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Next up from Scorpion Releasing, we have Sleepless from 2001. An elderly and retired police detective and a young amateur sleuth team up to find a serial killer who has resumed a killing spree in Turin, Italy, after a 17-year hiatus. And I thought this one looked pretty cool, plus it's got Max von Sydow, who's always awesome. And by the way, Brian, I texted you this. My kids finally watched The Exorcist.
I know. I can't believe that. Now you got to get them to Exorcist 3 and really scar them.
Yeah, we threw them right into the deep end. We kind of reached a point where they're always begging to watch horror movies, and I was like, you know what? They're at an age that they know not to say cuss words.
Right.
And unless it's like just ridiculously torture-y or something, and I'm not going to show them sex stuff. And
like I would avoid Hostel for a while.
yeah, I'm not going to have explicit nudity or anything like that. But if it's just a movie that's more like on the supernatural side, I know The Exorcist does have some rough parts, granted, but
I bet you though. But see, I remember I saw The Exorcist. Probably, how old is Anna right now?
11.
I think that's around then when I saw The Exorcist. So a lot kind of went over my head. Like, I don't think you got a lot, like you didn't see, like, and obviously there's one really dramatic graphic scene. Like, I don't think it registered to me what was actually going on in it at the time. I mean, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I'm sure it didn't, like, I don't think I ended up, like, sitting there asking questions about it afterwards, per se. I think I just, I knew the language, I knew the words she was using during that sequence, but I don't even know if I knew what it meant at that point. I mean... So, yeah, I think you can, like, certain things you just can probably just didn't register to them as how bad it really is. So, probably just to them look like some blood scenes in there.
That's what I kind of figured. Most of it would go over their heads, but they loved it. And
you are gearing them up for Horror Nights, aren't you? You're just going to throw them. Well, and you figure, here's the thing, too, right? There, the worst probably thing that could happen, as long as you like kind of curate properly their horror intake, the worst that happens is they might have a couple of nightmares and probably not want to watch horror movies anymore. The best thing out of this is that you will end up with, well, I don't know. You could think of worse. You may never get to watch another horror movie alone.
That's true.
That could be the worst thing for you. You know what you gotta watch them? They should watch Creepshow. I bet you they would love that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I don't think there's anything that horrible in the first Creepshow that they could probably handle.
Oh, you're right. That's a great one. And I think I'm gonna try the original Pet Sematary as well.
Oh my god, that still scars me though. I don't know. Well, yeah, but they have cats. Are you sure you want to? You have cats.
They've been dying to see Pet Sematary.
Oh,
I think I'll do Creepshow first. I think they'd like that one.
Yeah, because that's done in like, it's done like in such a funny, gory way, and like totally like that kind of. You may not want to let them watch the second one because there is that one couple of sex scenes in the second one. But the first one, I think it's just purely gore, and any sex thing in there is kind of implied, and there's nothing gratuitous that wise in there. And then, I have a feeling the kids will squirm and squeal with the bugs at the end. I think they'll I bet you they'll really enjoy that one. I think that's a good one. Now that I mean, if they've seen The Exorcist, they could easily handle Creepshow, I think. And that's a fun one for them, I think.
Definitely. All right. Well, this disc here actually has a ton of extras. It's got Film Historians, our first Film Historians, audio commentary by Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson.
Yes, better known as they team up with Statler, like they're Statler and Waldorf when they get together. So they kind of just like feed off each other, make it fun, kind of like Tim and I in a way, but like do it with less insults.
Those guys have been really cranking them out lately too.
Yeah,
I've seen them. They've probably been our most popular Film Historians the last couple months.
They do, and I'm kind of glad we kind of like went really easy on their they're kind of grandfathered in, and they bothly just I mean, who wouldn't, they that's not an insult being compared to Statler and Waldorf. That's fun, that they're lovable characters.
They were probably my two favorite Muppets. At some level, but just because I love their chemistry.
In fact, I gotta tell you, I don't know did you remember seeing this special? I hope they eventually air this on Disney Plus. I have it. I think you can find it on YouTube, and I know I have it on VHS somewhere. It was when the Disney first bought the Muppets from Jim Henson, and there was a special called The Muppets Go to Disney World. And I don't know if you remember this, but what happened was so Kermit was bringing the whole gang to the swamps outside for some big like frog festival, but they and like one of the frogs goes, and the best part is you get to see the fireworks every night at Walt Disney World. And they found out that it was right there, so all the Muppets like leave poor Kermit's like swamp festival, and they all go running through Walt Disney World and all the different things that are going on. And like so like Gonzo and Camilla are touring there, and Gonzo thinks everything is part of Disney magic, like the laundry. He stumbles down into the laundry unit, and the the garbage canister is like, he's like, oh, look at this, they're always on the cutting edge. And then like Beauregard grabs Miss Piggy and basically takes her on all the thrill rides, which of course has her going, ah! Screaming the whole time. But anyway, getting to my point. So there's one part where Statler and Waldorf are on like in some kind of like, I don't know, I think they're one of the Main Street vehicles, I think it is. And they're going around and they're like, wow, look at this. And they're like, this is great. We love it. And it's like they totally go against their like grain of complaining.
Like typical,
they can't complain. It's basically they could not complain because it was Walt Disney World. So they just kept saying positive things, and they looked at each other and they said, we love it. So anyway,
great.
that was what I was getting to in a long circuitous way, all coming from this, like probably one of the most calm unknown releases of the month. Look what that spawned to. From our Discmemberment. But anyway.
Well, it wouldn't be Civil War without our crazy tangents.
Right. And we do have to, this episode is going to be, this is a short titled one, so we have a little bit of leeway to kind of go off in these tangents.
All right, so more extras for Sleepless here. We got interview with director, co-writer Dario Argento, interview with co-writer Franco Ferrini, interview with set designer Massimo Antonello Galing, interview with, God, I guess. Yeah,
you got the good ones.
Interview with actor Gabriel Lavia, quote, Mr. Betty. Interview with actor Paolo Maria Scalandro, Commissioner Manny, and trailers.
Yes. So. And then look at this. We go right into our pick of the week.
That's right.
Should I take this one week. Just since it's...
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this one was we both picked it, and I have a feeling why. I think the trailer just kind of blew us away. I don't think another one I haven't heard of, and this is now an older film. This is from 2017. 2007. So this is 14 years old at this point. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I know why. It's a South Korean film, so it probably didn't distribute well around here at the time. So I could see this something that Shudder could get at some point down the road, but right now, it's coming out from Media Blasters, and that's Hansel and Gretel, not to be confused with the Gretel and Hansel, which came out just a year ago. This one is just, it's so unique. Like I like the visuals on it to me were amazing. It immediately drew me in to like, it could have been about anything. Like I didn't even get as much Hansel and Gretel vibes. They just did some cool imagery in this. But so it said, what if Hansel and Gretel decide to stay in the gingerbread house and look for new parents who would love them forever? When Unsu gets lost on a country road, he meets a mysterious girl and is led to her fairy tale-like house in the middle of the forest. Trapped with the girl and her ageless siblings, he soon learns that the adult visitors met mysterious yet terrible ends there. More shockingly, their cruel deaths are drawn in detail in the pages of a fairy tale in the pages of fairy tale books. With no way out, will Yunsu be able to find a happily ever after before his gruesome end is chronicled in a fable? Sorry, it was hard to read because it was such a long paragraph and it was like shrunken, so it's like I could never get flow in a sentence there. But this looks really, really cool. There's some cool creepiness in there, and there's just some cool, like I said, some colorful visuals at the same time. It's just really neat.
Yeah, this trailer is my pick for the whole month. Like, this was the best trailer to me.
Oh,
it
yeah.
just was really astounding. And going in, I would have never picked this as my pick of the week because there's no extras on here. It's a foreign film, so I was not very familiar with it. But after I saw this trailer, hands down, pick of the week, no question.
Yeah. Hansel's down, pick of the week, right?
Yeah, that's right. All right, so recapping the week of April 6th, we have the Chloe Grace Moretz vehicle, Shadow in the Cloud. The Reckoning from 2020, that's a Shudder film. Sleepless from 2001. And Hansel and Gretel, our pick of the week from 2007. All right, moving right on to April 13th. We have one that I've been wanting to see. The reviews have not been as good as I've wanted, but I still want to check this one out because it's a Nicolas Cage movie, and that is Willy's Wonderland from last year.
I mean, think about it. Willy Wonderland with animatronics. I mean, at first I think it was billed as a theme park one, as from what I remember it, but then it turned out to be it's more like a Chuck E. Cheese place. But yeah, but still, look, I think you and I will probably get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I think so. This one comes at us courtesy of Screen Media. A quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at the now condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane tasks suddenly become an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. Fists fly, kicks land, titans clash, and only one side will make it out alive. And yeah, as Brian says, no brainer on this one. We have to see this one because it's Nicolas Cage fighting animatronics. What's not to love?
Yeah, there's no way I am not watching this movie. I'm going to pre-order it too. I'm definitely buying this one because I need to have this in my Nicolas Cage collection, and I have to see how he's tricked into becoming a janitor. Like what happens? Do they like hire him for like an executive, but then only give him cleaning products? I don't know, instead of a phone. I don't get it, but we'll find out. Either way, you guarantee there's going to be, just watching Nick Cage fight animatronics, I don't care if there's not even a line of dialogue in that movie. Just sign me up. Yeah,
which I don't think there is. I don't think there is much dialogue.
Yeah, from the trailer, it didn't look like there was much. But either way, I'm totally watching that. So release number 2 we have, and we've discussed this on there. This, again, from Shudder's RLJ Entertainment. This is Leap of Faith, the William Friedkin on The Exorcist from 2019. This is a lyrical and spiritual cinematic essay on The Exorcist, exploring the depths of William Friedkin's mind's eye, the nuances of his filmmaking process, and the mysterious faith and fate that have shaped his life and filmography. And if you had anything that you wanted to hear from him, you get it all in this documentary. He literally talks for like 2 hours straight. There's not even an interviewer there. I have a feeling that they may have even left the room like 40 minutes into this documentary, and he just kept the camera rolling, and he just kept going. And now, granted, I know I'm making fun of it, but it's a fascinating documentary. I think it's just jarring because it's literally talk about like it's like him just talking to you for almost like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, but to his credit, he's one of the few people I could see that could do that. You know, and not need an interviewer constantly prompting. He could sit there and talk for 2 hours, and like Brian said, it is actually really fascinating. It's a great documentary. It's just very oddly presented.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And I'm not even call it a criticism. It's just, it's unusual. So it's a little jarring. And I think it says here, it says Masterclass by William Friedkin. If you've ever seen a masterclass, that's kind of what it's like anyway. Like, it's like 2 hours of him talking to you, the viewer, as if like he's basically instructing you on everything you wanted to know about how The Exorcist was created. I mean, it gives you a lot. Like, I thought I knew a lot about it just over the years through other documentaries and just regular film knowledge. But I'll tell you this, you get a lot of information here. It's actually a really good documentary. It just, like I said, the only thing is it's a little jarring when you're used to like seeing clips or, having an interviewer or something else. So it's just him. So if you can handle him for 2 hours, go right for it.
Yeah. Next up from Full Moon Features, we have Shrunken Heads from 1994. When 3 New York kids are murdered, the local Haitian voodoo priest reanimates their shrunken heads to exact revenge. Complications arise between one of the heads and his former girlfriend. As all Full Moon Features, this one looks kind of crazy, but actually kind of fun as well. This one has a few extras behind the scenes featurette, a brand new restoration of the fully uncut version of the film, trailers, and more.
Yeah, this one's pretty, like, if you watch the trailer's kind of funny for this, but it's crazy because, like, it's like literally it's like 3 like beheaded children are like their heads are just kind of like literally like floating through space throughout this thing, floating all over the city. It's quite a weird sight to see, but like Tim said, Full Moon, it's like, you can pretty much, the one thing Full Moon will always give you is entertainment. You will never not be entertained with whatever they give you. May not be your cup of tea, but I dare you to say you've been not entertained through a Full Moon feature. But so we'll skip the tip of the pick of the week because that'll be you thing. And this one goes next one before that is Rising Sun Media's Killer Pinata from 2015. A possessed, really, do we need a description with that title? But right. I'll give it to you anyway. A possessed pinata seeking to avenge the savagery that humanity has afflicted on its kind picks off a group of friends, one by one, in an unending night of terror. Now, I got to tell you this, Tim. I've never been a fan of real pinatas. I think, if you think about it, okay, look at this thing. First, you're giving a whole bunch of rowdy kids, you're blindfolding them and giving them a bat to swing around. Now, it'd be different if it wasn't like, if you kind of gave him his own little arena, but no, you have all the kids circled around. So one misstep and you get like some kid getting smacked in the face with a bat. Second of all, it's totally gives you like, it's just anxiety inducing because, when you're you want to be the one to win. So you're swinging blindly at this thing. And then when it comes out, it's like the Hunger Games where everyone just dives in for the candy and whatever comes out in there. And it's like, with no disrespect. And then third of all, it's like you're picking like candy off the ground. And then my OCD radar goes off like 9 times during this trailer, just looking at these things with piñatas. So that said, Tim, you can see where I would stand on this film. I would probably be rooting for the piñata in some way, though. But anyway, so there's a couple of features on this. It's director's interviews, bloopers, and deleted scenes, which I probably kids getting hit in the head with the bats, unfortunately. Special director's cut, making of documentary, and audio commentary. But before we move on, Tim, how are your thoughts on piñatas?
I have never had an actual piñata at a birthday party not end in some sort of injury.
Thank you.
Never.
That's my point.
Never.
You have perfectly displayed like why is this still a thing?
It's either somebody gets hit with the bat or something gets broken, or the kids dive for the candy and have a concussion because they all knocked heads when they died for the candy. There's always something. Like, it's one of those things that I have had piñatas at the kids' birthday parties before, but it's not something I would recommend. It's just
right.
It's always an ordeal. It's never worth the stress.
Thank you. You exactly proved my point. And someone always is going to end up unhappy.
Yeah, it's terrible. And somebody's not going to get as much candy as another kid because one kid hogs it all. Oh, it's just terrible. It's a bad idea.
You know what you need to start doing? You need to start doing it at like those slot parlors. The ones that don't have the real like coins in it, and you get like a little ticket. Maybe just whoever breaks the piñata, just like redeemed tickets flop down, and you just tell the kids ahead of time, listen, you're all gonna get a ticket. This is just ceremonial. Someone's just gonna break it, and out come
we've
the
done
tickets.
That before.
Yeah.
We've done where everybody, you can grab your candy, but then afterwards we're redistributing it evenly among all kids. It's just a pain. Oh my gosh, it's a pain.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a thing. Okay.
Well, speaking of children, that brings us to our pick of the week.
That's
Trauma.
A segue.
Trauma releases The Children from 1980. A nuclear plant leak turns a busload of children into murderous atomic zombies with black fingernails. And this one, Brian, this one's just a crazy movie. Now, I saw this one fairly recently.
Oh, you did?
The past
recently? Okay.
2 or 3 years, because I'd heard people talking about the black fingernail kids. And how much it creeped them out when they were younger.
Yeah, it's creepy as a kid. You're a kid. And I saw this way too young.
So I had to go watch it just to see what everybody was talking about. And that's why this is my pick of the week. Because I think it's out of this whole list, it's like the one I would love to own as like a cult classic.
Oh, yeah. I pre-ordered this like as soon as I saw this announced, actually, because of what it did to me as a child. Actually, the some of the creepiest like imagery you see, and Trauma, is known for more like really like zany, like comedic stuff. They did a good job at kind of creeping people out with this one. Yeah.
So that's it for the week of April 13th. Let's recap here real quickly. We had Willy's Wonderland from 2020, Leap of Faith, William Friedkin on The Exorcist from 2019, Full Moon brings us Shrunken Heads from 1994, Rising Sun Media gives us Killer Piñata from 2015, and then our pick of the week, Trauma's The Children from 1980. All right.
So this next week is really long, but
yeah.
But I guess you should probably start this one off since I'll take this pick of the week. So
yeah,
there's only two titles.
2 titles for April 20th. Again, like I told you, this was going to be a short month. So skipping over our pick of the week, we bring you Warner Brothers' Dr. X. This is a 1932 film. The New York newspapers have dubbed him the Moon Killer. He stalks the streets at night, strangling and cannibalizing men and women. There have been 6 victims so far, and the police believe that a scientist at the Academy of Surgical Research is responsible. Is it Dr. Wells, Dr. Haynes, Dr. Rowitz, Dr. Duke, or is it Dr. Xavier, Dr. X, who runs the Academy? I have my suspicions, Brian.
I know.
Dr. X's young and lovely daughter will be instrumental in solving the crime, as will the hysterical maid and the sinister butler. Our trip through this morbid tale is guided by the wisecracking reporter who will find himself toe-tagged, gassed, tossed around, and generally manhandled before the mystery is solved. And this one actually, I agree with you, Brian. This one actually looks kind of cool for such an early film.
Right.
It's kind of a neat trailer. I actually would like to check this one out. And if not for our other disc, this might be my pick of the week just because it's such an unusual title. It
is. But our pick of the week is one that Tim and I had spoke about many times. We got to see it at one of the festivals, and it's got a lot of good buzz. And once it hit Shudder, a lot of people love this one, and that is from, of course, RLJ Entertainment, and that is the Mortuary Collection from 2019 with, of course, the killer performance by Clancy Brown. He's just, and it's so funny because it's fine. This seems like a role he was like so meant to play. He just had to like age into it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was perfect for this role.
Yeah, like he just needed to kind of get into that like that age of where he kind of fits the physical look as well as he did the audible sound of it. But anyway, speaking of him, a creepy old mortician manages a very strange mortuary all alone until a young woman shows interest in working in the mortuary for the mortician. The mortician tells the young apprentice a series of stories about those that have died in the town. So, of course, if you haven't guessed it by now, this is an anthology, and it's a pretty fun one. And I really like the wraparound one. Probably is one of the better wraparound tales, I think, because it's done. It's almost done as if it wasn't introducing an anthology in some way. You know, it's so well done that you could almost make a movie out of just the true wraparound. So, yeah, of course I'm going to get this. This is another no-brainer for me. I don't know if you noticed, I swapped the special features because for some reason the special features, and I know where you got them from, linked the Psycho Gorman special features.
Oh, really?
On there, yeah, I don't know why, but it was like a mix of two. There must have been a glitch somewhere because Amazon had it that way too, but it wasn't until I went to another site that I found it and it linked a more appropriate special features. And anyway, so that is it's got over 2 hours of them, by the way, but so it doesn't have all of them here, but it's director's commentary, 14 extensive behind the scenes segments, in-depth conversation with director and writer Ryan Spindell, the actors and crew of the Mortuary Collection, some deleted scenes, and more. So it's got for a Shudder disc. This has got a lot of special features. It says over 2 hours worth. So that's another one I pre-ordered already because it's, like I said, that's a no-brainer. I love a good anthology, and especially one that was done this well. You got to have it.
And definitely, it's definitely got the EC Comics feel to it, Creepshow feel to it. So if you guys like that, you're gonna love that one.
Yes, I highly recommend that one.
So to recap, April 20th, just 2 discs. We had Dr. X from Warner Brothers, 1932, and our pick of the week, the Mortuary Collection from 2019. All right, so these are our releases for April 27th, the last week of the month, and another short one. Like I said, it's just not a whole lot coming out this month, but I hope you'll agree the discs have been actually pretty good. So first up, we have, this is just a re-release in steelbook form, and that is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark from 1988. And if you have the previous Arrow release, I think the extras are all the same. The steelbook just has a limited edition booklet featuring newly produced a forward with writer and director Sam Irvin and writing on the film by Kat Ellinger and Patterson Lundquist. And it also has, of course, newly produced artwork for the steelbook. So I don't have this one actually yet, but if you are into the steelbooks, that's the version to get.
Yeah, I have the original Arrow version. I'm definitely not going to double dip just for a steelbook and some new art. Because the content is so, there's like 30 features on this thing. It's great back disc as it is, so no need to get just for the outer box of it.
Yeah.
Next one we have is from Severin Films, and that's Day of the Animals. This is a very themed month here, the themed week, I should say here. It's from 1977. Says the depletion of the Earth's ozone layer caused animals above the altitude of 5,000. Oh, that's our favorite thing. 5,000 feet to run amok, Tim.
Yeah, I run amok.
I love run amok, which is very unfortunate for a group of hikers who get dropped off up there by helicopter just before quarantine is announced.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know what, though? I always feel bad for when, just regular animals. Like, I don't mind a good monster film, but I feel bad when regular animals are portrayed as monsters in some level. Like, I mean, like, even though I love Jaws, great white sharks, it's like, they're just doing what they're supposed to do kind of thing. But, but Jaws is different because, Jaws kind of has this, like, it's not really going after people unless they're in its way. I mean, yes, the one scene he comes in, but, like, again, it's probably because, there's a lot of people, like, interfering kind of like in the wake of the water. I'm sorry, I'm just siding with Jaws. I tell you, it's terrible. Not that I feel bad. I feel bad for the people too. But you know what I'm saying though, right? Because a lot of these animal movies, like the ones we're coming up with too later on in this week, it's just I think they're just animals being themselves, and like, but then they're treated as like these villains, and it's like I don't know.
Yeah, they're not monsters. They're just regular animals doing their thing. They might be bigger than normal, but it's not like they're not evil.
Yeah, and I'm an animal lover, so I don't.
Unless they're in Jaws 4, then they're evil.
Yeah, then Jaws 4. No, and then the scriptwriter to that is evil too. But I do want to see this again. I haven't seen this in a long time, so I still want to kind of watch it, see what it was, because
it's awesome. I watched it recently, and
I remember you saying that. So I need to kind of check this out. And this one's got a really good disc too. It's a 2K restoration of the film. It's got audio commentary with film critic Lee Gambin, of course, who. Well, I don't know if you remember him, Tim, but he's the one that when he becomes when he's alone, he becomes Eeyore of a commentary. But but anyway, he's an author. Apparently, he's the author of Massacred by Mother Nature, exploring the natural horror film. So he's got a book. Lee Gambin.
That's nice.
I know. So I may have to check that out actually, because it's kind of interesting. Because look, he's like he basically this very topic I just discussed. He seemed to write a whole book on it. So I might have to track this down. And Lee Gambin can be my new buddy here. Anyway, and so there's also Animal Boy, interview with actor Bobby Porter. Against Nature, interview with actor Andrew Stevens. Unleashed, interview with stunt coordinator Monty Cox. Something Was Out There. Day of the Animals 30 years later, interviews with actors John Cedar, Paul Manty, and actress animal trainer Susan Backline. Oh, look at that. She's, of course, from Jaws, too, so I mentioned her before.
Oh, okay.
So look at that. She's an animal trainer, too? I don't think I've ever known that.
I'm just disappointed Paul Manty was not named Paul Manatee. Which
I know. That
just missed it by an A.
So close, right? Anyway. Yeah, no, for some reason I can never say Susan Backline's name right. I don't know. I can always mess it up. Steel gallery. It's got a still gallery, TV spot, trailers, and a reversible wrap. Not sure what that. Oh, that's the inner thing. That's right.
The old
I've noticed that too. It's
wrap.
funny. Yeah, they call it they usually don't call it a reversible wrap, but I know that's what they mean because a couple of my discs have that, and you flip it.
Yeah. This next one is kind of I kind of want to double dip on this one because I have the previous version. This is from Severin Films, and this is Grizzly from 1976. I actually got this one fairly recently because it was cheap. I guess because they knew this version was coming out.
Yeah.
A 15-foot grizzly bear figures out that humans make for a tasty treat. As a park ranger tries rallying his men to bring about the bear's capture or destruction, his efforts are thwarted by the introduction of dozens of drunken hunters into the area. I really like this one.
Who's the villain there? Okay, drunken hunters. They're the villains, not the bear.
But this one's great. I actually really enjoyed this one. I have not seen Grizzly 2, which is out there somewhere.
Yeah, that just came out. That actually came out on disc first, right? I think last month, Grizzly.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about it, yeah. This one has a 2K restoration of the film, audio commentary with Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson and film writer Troy Howarth, our Statler and Waldorf, of course.
Yes. The
Grizzly Details, interview with producer David Sheldon and actress Joan McCall. Towering Fury, interview with actor Tom Arkuraki. Nightmare USA, author Stephen Thrower on William Girdler.
Wait a minute, Stephen Thrower. He was a film historian at one point. Remember?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I guess
he was the one that they thought he was a pitcher, but he wasn't.
Movie making in the wilderness, vintage behind the scenes making of Jaws with Claws, archival making of Grizzly featurette, radio spots, trailers, and a reversible wrap. So I was just looking at my copy, Brian, of the previous release that was from Scorpion. This one's. And it does have the Jaws with Claws featurette.
Oh,
and
okay.
Several other extras here. Fun facts and trivia. Not as many extras as the Severin release, but it does have at least one featurette. So it's not like a total bare bones disc. So if you have the previous version, it's not a bad.
And I heard you have the reversible wrap too. It's just one. The other, when you reverse it, it's just a blank paper.
Yeah, it's just blank.
So Tim's reversible wrap is not as fun as this one.
No. You draw your own grizzly bear on the front. It's like
yeah. Oh, now you've just made it more fun. That actually would be cool. Oh my God, you just gave a great idea. How cool would that be to get on that whole like adult coloring book thing where you have the artwork on one page, the real art book movie, and you flip it and it's like a color in.
Oh,
like,
that would be cool.
How cool would that be? Someone's got to steal that idea from me. I'm gladly leaving it out there on the open. Car's door unlocked, keys in the ignition for that idea, because I think somebody needs to take that, because that would be fun. How much fun would that be? Especially like, you get like like any kind of those like really cool iconic like a Neil Fraser artwork or something. Imagine like you see that like on a cool like thing, and then you get to color it in. Like,
oh, yeah, that'd be so easy to do too.
Yeah, and then you reverse it for yourselves, and you can like show your friends, like, look what I did.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's perfect.
We can dream, right, Tim? The final one, final one before the pick of the week. Here, this is sticking with our animal theme, loosely, I guess. This is a biker. It's by Code Red, and it's Werewolves on Wheels. 1971. It's from the people that brought you Vampires in Vans. But anyway, this is a biker gang visits a monastery where they encounter black-robed monks engaged in worshiping Satan. Those monks, they're sneaky.
They're always up to something.
They are. I've said, like, the movie, one of the movies I just watched. I can't talk about it yet. The embargo's still on it. But when I get to talk about it, the monks, again, are pretty evil. Anyway, when the monks try to persuade one of the female bikers, Helen, to become a satanic sacrifice, the bikers smash up the monastery and leave. The monks have the last laugh, though, as Helen, as a result of the satanic rituals, is now possessed and at night changes into a werewolf, with dire results for the biker gang. Okay, first of all, you're already taking why is that making her a werewolf and not like being bit by a werewolf? I don't know. I'm more. They're already too far from the lore
Yeah,
for me to take this movie seriously.
Suspend my disbelief.
I know. I can't take this movie
ruined.
seriously now. I can't take it. But anyway, they do have one of the funniest lines in this trailer too, which is, "Don't miss the most unusual and exciting horror motorcycle yet." Exciting horror motorcycle movie yet made. Okay, is that an actual genre? It's like a subgenre of horror?
Well, there's that one, what is that movie? I watched it. It was really bad, but it was interesting in a weird way because it was so bad. Something about wheels, Psychos on
you're
Wheels.
right. Yeah, yes. Now I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I can't remember.
I could be wrong. There may be a subgenre in there, and this is the most unusual one yet. And
I think around the time of Easy Rider, that era, I think there were like some horror,
everything was on wheels. Yeah. I get it. So it's the extras on here are astounding long list of brand new master and an original trailer.
Yeah,
which already I've seen half of. So I might be able to pass on this disc, but.
All right, well, that brings us to our pick of the week, and this one I picked just from the quality of the movie, because when I saw this one, I was blown away. I thought it was fantastic. This is Severin Films' Santa Sangre.
And see, I picked it because I didn't get to see it yet, but I'm dying to because of you, and I know it's on Prime. I just never got a chance to watch it.
Oh man!
But it's the your review of it plus the massive packed features on this disc. It's a 3-disc set.
Yeah, this
4-disc
set.
Sorry, 4-disc, because the fourth is a soundtrack. So I'll let you read the list of this because this is fantastic.
Yeah, this one. This is one of those movies I kind of watched out of the blue. I had never really heard of it and never knew much about it, and like after I saw it, I was like completely became one of my favorites. From 1989, a young man is confined in a mental hospital. Through a flashback, we see that he was traumatized as a child when he and his family were circus performers. He saw his father cut off the arms of his mother, a religious fanatic and leader of the heretical church of Santa Sangre, Holy Blood, and then commit suicide. Back in the present, he escapes and rejoins his surviving and armless mother. Against his will, he becomes her...
Just the way you said that. You just said it like it was so normal. Okay.
It is in this movie.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Against his will, he becomes her arms, and the two undertake a grisly campaign of murder and revenge. So Disc 1, as Brian said, this is a 4-disc set. Disc 1 is the 4K Blu-ray, which is a new 4K restoration of the film supervised by director Alejandro Jodorowsky. Audio commentary with Alejandro Jodorowsky and journalist Alan Jones. New Blood, Alejandro Jodorowsky on the restoration of Santa Sangre. Deleted scenes with optional director commentary. Theatrical trailer, optional English subtitles. Disc 2 is the normal Blu-ray, also with the new restoration of the film, audio commentary, New Blood. Looks like the same features here on the non-4K version. So you're basically getting two discs, one 4K and one not. Disc 3 is your extras disc. This one has Forget Everything You've Ever Seen, The World of Santa Sangre, a 96-minute documentary directed by David Gregory with co-writer-director Alejandro Jodorowsky. Actors Alex Jodorowsky. I can't say that name. Sorry. Actors Axel Jodorowsky, Blanca Guerra, Thelma Tizu, Sabrina Dennison, Aidan Jodorowsky, Alenka Tapia, Teo Tapia, co-writer Roberto Leone, composer Simon Boswell, tattoo designer Sergio Arral, and unit publicist Greg Day. Like Phoenix, interview with producer Claudio Argento. Holy Blood, interview with the cinematographer Daniel Nanuzzi. Mexican Magic, interview with executive producer Angelo Aecano. The Language of Editing, interview with editor Mauro Bonanni. Innocence and Horror, interview with screenwriter Roberto Leone. Santa Sangre 30th Anniversary Celebration at Morbido Festival, Mexico City. Goyo Cardenas, Spree Killer, documentary on the real-life inspiration for Santa Sangre. Jodorowsky's 2003 interview, Jodorowsky on stage Q&A. E-Check, Aidan Jodorowsky short film. Simon Boswell interviews Jodorowsky. Close Your Eyes, Simon Boswell music video. And discs for the entire soundtrack presented on a CD disc. So not only just a fantastic movie, but a super cool collector's edition of this film that I definitely want to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, and it's got, it's like, too, I love when they do like the, because sometimes the 4K ones kind of jip you on the features, because like they're kind of giving you the 4K as like, and that's the feature. Right. With this, they really didn't hold back on this. I like this one. This one sounds cool. This is one of those ones I can see myself buying just because of the amount of the stuff on the disc before I even see the film. This is one of those like traps for me.
Well, let's recap the week of April 27th. We had The Elvira, Mistress of the Dark Steelbook, Day of the Animals from 1977, Grizzly from 1976, a new version by Severin Films, and Werewolves on Wheels from 1971. And to wrap things up, our pick of the week, Severin Films Santa Sangre Collector's Edition 4-disc set. Astounding. That's probably the pick of the month right there. But yeah, so we will be back here next month for May, which I'm thinking is probably gonna be a little bigger than this month, Brian.
Oh yeah, no, I already know because I've already have about 6 pre-orders already of some big ones in May. There's a lot of good 80s horrors coming out in May. Yeah. So I can sneak preview there if you want that. There's a lot of good obscure 80s horror movie. Including a rarely seen Tom Hanks vehicle.
Ooh, nice. All right, guys, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here next month.
Yes.